3, 2.
Look deep inside before you judge the surface. Look in my eyes and read between the lines. My soul is searching. Chosen, gotta focus. They know this time. Kiana and Moldy. Action, no bragging, no roasting. Facts with no capping. They hold it down. Envision these words and use them as power. The enemy lurking. I'm calling my spirit, and if it can hear me, it's spoken with purpose.
Y'all, welcome back to another podcast with your favorite group, Spoken with Purpose. Y'all already know how we get it in. I am your girl host, Tanya.
And I am your girl host, Kiana, aka KB. Got it? Whoop, whoop. So we're on episode 22, guys, and our topic tonight, I know y'all ain't seen any flyers floating around, but yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get a topic until just today. It just dropped into us. So
Correct.
Therefore, we went on ahead and decided to do our podcast anyways, even at the last minute. So our episode tonight is Blood is Thicker Than Water.
Mm-hmm.
Family interactions.
Absolutely. Y'all already know we have a purpose for every topic that we decide to come and chat with you guys about. And we noticed that, like, families don't get together no more.
Nope.
You know, like, they real deal don't get together no more. And we kind of want to chat about it. Like, we want to know what these differences is. And y'all let us know, like, why y'all ain't kicking it with your sister? Why you ain't kicking it with your auntie? Why y'all got these family cliques? Right. So, that's what we're going to kind of talk about.
So I, of course, always have my little notes here, my little bullet points. And I wanted to know, how do you interact with your family? Are you close-knit with your family, or is there some family members that you don't get along with, or?
I'm very, very, very close with my family. Well, started with my siblings. Well, I'm close with them. Well, I won't say I'm as close as I am. Well, I'm not as close to all of them as I am to certain people, because you know, you just used to being around certain people. But as far as to me and my sisters, we're very close, and we're still close to this day. What the heck that is. And as far as to the rest of the family, I don't have no enemies. I don't have no problem with dealing with anybody. Yeah. So no, I'm pretty good.
I'm pretty close too with my family. I would think the same thing. Do you think that like, because my family isn't as big as your family? You know what I'm saying? I have like a smaller family, and at least on my mom's side. On my dad's side, it's pretty large. I don't know everybody, but my family is pretty small. But do you think that because your family is so big that it's like kind of clicked off? Like there's sections of the family that only deals with certain people, and
I don't think it has nothing to do about it being so big. I do think that there are cliques, but I don't think it has nothing to do with the size of the family. Now, I mean, I can't speak for nobody else, but I know Beulah grandkids, because there's a couple of them out, maybe 7 of them. I don't know. If I count them out, I can realize how many kids that my grandma Betsy had. But as far as to Beulah grandkids, we're all very close. I think they all kind of set off, to be honest. Like, you got Beulah kids, then you got my cat
that's
kids,
what I'm saying, because
then you
the
got
family is so big.
I
think it does have a lot to do with it, because everybody can't, you know,
communicate
on a regular basis because of the different, you know, family structure and different peoples within the family. You know, they don't all combine and get along with one another. But I don't see that taking place in my family, because I mean, we have a pretty decent sized family, but I don't see like there's the clique.
Yeah.
So that's why I actually brought that up, because I kind of paid attention to, you know, and I've been around your family for so long. Mm-hmm. I see that there is, like, you know, it's clicked off. And what do you think this whole blood is thicker than water thing came about? What you think about that?
I think blood is thicker than water comes from like a loyalty. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah, I think it comes from a loyalty that, especially like all of us grew up in the same house, like me, Tosh, all of us grew up in the same house. So that bond that we have is one punch, all punch. So with that, you know, just because we have that loyalty, it's like a family thing. I don't care if I ain't seen you in 10 years. I don't care if I just met you today. You fight today, I fight today. So I just think it's a family thing. Now, I don't know about the blood actually being thicker than water. Hey viewers.
Hey viewers.
Y'all chime in. But I don't know about the actual term. You know, family use that term, blood is thicker than water. But obviously, some family members don't deal with each other. So I don't know how true the statement is. But for the most part, yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with loyalty as well. Blood is thicker than water. It comes from the bloodline. So you're saying that, you know, because you're in the same bloodline, then your loyalty is more towards that bloodline versus someone who's not in that bloodline.
Absolutely. Right or wrong.
Right or wrong. Or indifferent. Your loyalty is going to be towards that bloodline. But I don't really, you know, think that should matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really side with that term so much, because I've come to realize that over the years, you know, I have people that I deal with that are not my bloodline, that are close knit to me. Absolutely. They're closer than actually family. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't, you know, agree with that term, blood is thicker than water, but I see that thrown around a lot loosely.
Yeah, holistically, I definitely don't believe in it, but some of my blood's thicker than. I don't know. I might be. It is thicker than water. God darn it.
Thicker than water.
Might be some people I might not like the way they function or how they handle things. But like I said, right, wrong, and indifferent. I got you 4 flat tires down. Now, you know, if you're wrong, now we're gonna correct you on the back end and be like, dang, why we had to fight? And I know goddamn well that ain't why we fighting once you give me the reason. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have your back, regardless. But on another note, as far as to people who are not blood, as far as to them being the water, they just as thick as blood to me, because we ain't in the same bloodline, but
blood couldn't make us any close.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, the blood couldn't make us any close. So,
absolutely, because it's one punch, we all punch. With this one, the other two sisters, her mama, all that.
we swing.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Like I was telling Kiana the other day, like sitting over there with my sister the other day, I was like, with us being so close, it brings up a conversation amongst other family people who comes over and interact with us, and they be like, they're not as close with their family members. So it brings up a desire to either want to be close, or if they're in our family in some sort of way, whether it's marriage, most of the time it's marriage, then they appreciate the closeness. So they just kind of, they grab onto that and they appreciate that. So I think that it's contagious, if you will.
Yeah, I agree. When you go ahead.
Monique McIntyre
Hi, girl.
says loyalty is loyalty. Blood shouldn't be a matter of a fact.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I just said I don't, too much agree with the term blood is thicker than water.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you too, Monique. But I remember when we did the other We Lit moment the other day, and we had somebody who was out there a part of it, and it was like they don't understand why family don't come together more often than like sad occasions. Most of the time it'd be like a funeral that brings people together,
right,
or a wedding. I guess you could say a wedding, but most of the time it has to take a major event for people to kind of come together and interact, and then everybody else go back their separate ways. So it makes you wonder, like, what the heck is going on? What have someone done to you that bad where you feel like you can't communicate with that person? I don't think my heart is set up that way, or at least I haven't experienced it yet. Who's to know what's going to come in the future? But as far as to me today, I don't think it's nothing nobody can do to me to make me just want to discommunicate myself from you entirely. You got a comment, Tosh?
Mm-hmm. So Monique has another comment. She says, I feel people should work to rebuild the family structure, to repair the bonds, Society has intruded.
Society has intruded.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
so? How so, Mo? Monique. I'm calling you Mo. How so? How you feel society has intruded? Like, what is society doing that's causing the intrusion towards, that family bond?
Do you mean outside friends, or you mean like married, like you're the other person's mate? I mean, like kids. I mean, like be a little bit more specific for us, or at least give us an example as far as to
Society.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I don't understand how society would have.
Yeah, because I know we had a conversation once again with another person concerning his family interactions. Yeah. And it's only two of them,
Right?
and they're not close at all. And I just couldn't understand. It may not be for me to understand, but I couldn't understand that how it's only two of you guys. And you guys are not close. Like, you don't want to appreciate. Like, you ain't got no other siblings, and then they don't have any other family here. We're very few family members here.
Right.
And then, but they kind of broke it down a little bit. It was like a marriage happened. Like, one of the siblings got married, and they kind of tend to that marriage. They got to get the approval from each other. You know how you have that submissive type of attitude where you have to get approval through your other mate,
Right.
and they lean more towards the other portion of they lean more towards the marriage
Their
family.
spouse, family,
Yeah.
versus their actual family. And I don't know if, because I'm not gonna say if that's right or if that's wrong, but I can definitely understand how it can definitely affect your relationship between you and your sibling, because now you have this person who you once had this relationship with has now went off in with their family, their spouse's family, more so than with the family in which y'all were raised up in.
They're building family ties with another family,
right, on this side. So it brings about a disconnect.
Yeah,
with them.
and I think you have another.
So Monique responded.
Okay.
It says, people get caught up in being cool and following the crowd versus being with family and joining in or on family activities.
Ooh. That's good. I agree to a certain. Well, I've noticed it. I don't know if anybody would be able to make. I don't think nobody have that much control or that much influence over me, but I have definitely seen it happen where they gravitate more to a friendship than their actual family members. I don't know. Maybe they're not as close to the family members. Maybe that's somebody who they've always been around, and that's who they have the connection with. Kind of goes back to the title, like blood is thicker than water. I mean, that's the title, but we now realize that blood is not thicker than water. I don't know. Like Kiana said, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but I do think that we should at least attempt to try to socialize in some form or way. At least that's what I would do. At least try to attempt to socialize or get to know people before just totally dismissing them or even giving them a chance at all.
Is it that important though? Is it really that important to, socialize with family? Like, what is the importance behind socializing with family? Like, what? Is it really,
I guess it depends on your values. I think it's an individual thing, because for you to make that statement generally, it's not of importance.
Because I'm sure that a lot of people would say, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but there's some people out there that would say, what's the important, right? So what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I was born in this family, but not necessarily, not necessarily do I have to, affiliate myself with that family. Why? For what? What is the importance of it?
I think a lot
and
of
I agree with the values.
That's sad.
It really
That is
can
sad,
be
though.
It could be.
I think it's sad for the people who have the mentality, who
who
are already close.
I don't deal with
certain family members. Family members.
I don't go into
and it's okay with you. Like, you don't
see the importance of it. Like,
I come when needed.
The family gatherings. Yeah.
When necessary.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's sad when Tosh make the comment. When you make the
Why
comment.
you say it's sad? Is it because you feel like that individual is lonely, going to be lonely without being a part of their family, or
lonely?
Because
why you think it's sad?
The statement that you made.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's sad to be in a family and not to be a part of it.
Yeah.
whether you're married or single and you're born into that family.
Yeah.
To not be a part of your family, that's not me. That would
think it's
never
a
be me.
loss.
But
It's
what
a
you-
loss.
What you mean being apart?
Like you're being born
Going
into the
around
family. Like
all the
Kiana
time.
made a comment earlier about when you get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I got married to my husband, I didn't know all his family, just like I was learning him.
Yeah.
So with learning him, I'm learning his family.
Absolutely.
And I guess because of the person that I am, they accepted me, and I
Right.
felt that love from them just as well as I did from my family. Like
Yeah.
we still did things together with our families.
I agree.
You
So
know,
you merged the family.
I'm-
You didn't just
merge it.
I didn't know, no, not merge, but if my family was doing something on this side, I would bring this side of my family to this side.
Mm.
And the invitation was offered on the other side. If I was
Yeah.
doing something with my husband's side, my family was invited too.
That's what I'm saying, merging the families.
Well, I
Well-
think because at some point they may merge at Tosh's house, but
Right.
they're not going to merge
Merge.
at our house.
Right.
Unless it's just Tosh's household because Tosh is the family member. Now, of course, I think you may have a trinkle of a family member who you may necessarily be close with that might come to other family events. But yeah, I agree too. I think it's. I don't know about sad is the correct term, but I think it's unfortunate because I love family. To be honest,
too.
I love them. They all different. But I love them.
But you do have those ones that just have those favorites and not gonna come to certain stuff that you invite them to. You gonna have them ones that's never gonna come.
Yeah.
I could be dealing with this side of the family and invited that side of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit in that chair. They might be able to
Yeah.
hear you better, so that way they can hear
Sit
you
in
on the
that
live. We know you fine, but they want to hear you. But as far as to like the marriage thing, I think that it's we got comments. Okay, you can go ahead.
So Monique again says family is love. You love them in spite of. They are you, you are them. But nothing wrong with growing love for your family and your friend's family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your friends are family, is what she said?
No,
No,
she says,
they're
but
friends.
nothing wrong with growing love for your friend's family.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an extension.
Yeah,
in other
you know.
words.
Well, I want to get a little bit deep. Like,
Before
okay.
you do that, let me make this point as far as to the marriage thing.
Yeah.
Because I think Tosh made a good point, because I don't think just because you get married, you can still be submissive to your husband or vice versa, and not have to pull away from your own family. Like how we do, because we have a lot of married people in our family, definitely around our ages. And what they would do is they'll alternate, like, because we're very big on holidays. We do Thanksgiving together. We do the major holidays together. So what they'll do is we'll do Thanksgiving with my family, and then we'll do Christmas with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll do both holidays with my family, and then we'll alternate the next year. But I think it's a compromise. I don't think you have to pull neither person from the other side. And as far as to what I used to do, because we are all kind of we're in close proximity of each other, is we'll spend a couple of hours here, and then
That's
we'll
how I
do the
do.
rest of the hours, at another family member's house.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. That way you're dividing your time between,
Absolutely.
both sides of the family. That makes sense. Absolutely.
Nobody
I
is
agree.
left out. Nobody feels unloved. Nobody feels estranged.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and then that way you don't lose respect, because I remember another podcast that we had where we was talking about like how the kids don't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
They only know who you take them around, so you
Absolutely.
have to make sure that you introduce them to family
And
members.
if I was to get married, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would definitely divide my time. Whatever event we having
Yeah.
or whatever's taking place, I would divide my time, with this side of the family and over here to your side of the family. I'm not just gonna, always be on your side of the
Absolutely.
family. And I don't want you to be always on my side of the family. Like Monique said, family is love. You know what I'm saying? So I would
Yeah.
want to express my love by, spreading out my time
Yeah,
through everybody. So
on both sides.
yeah.
I agree.
But it gotta be like that all the way around too with the families.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a good
Because
point
you
too.
have some of those families that's very standoff and they don't come to certain stuff. And hell, you're not going to their stuff either.
That don't mean because they come, you'll
But
come.
they'll say little stuff. You have families that's jealous, family members that's jealous.
I think that definitely exists, but I think where that could actually be nipped in the bud at is because it's always like eye for an eye. You won't come over here, I ain't going over there. And I think it has to be instilled in you. Like, I'm not that person. I'm not a revengeful type of person. I don't need to pay you back. At the end of the day, I'm coming because I want to come, and then I also want you to come to my function. So I kind of treat people like I want to be treated. So hopefully you would hope that kind of rubs off, and maybe they would see the genuineness in it, and maybe they would want to return it. But if they don't, at some point you just accept it.
And
you
you
know,
just don't.
at that point, it just is what it is. Just is what it is. You might not like it, but it is what it is. What point was you going to make?
I was saying let's get deep. So, does the pain of being hurt by someone hit different when it's a family member?
Not for me. Well, I'll take that. I don't know. Hurt is hurt.
Because this bloodline we talking about, you know, you and my blood, you my blood, you know. I feel like a lot of times when someone hurts you in their, you know, family, you take it a little bit more to heart than you would if they were not family.
I think it's a difference, but I think hurt is hurt for me, period. Now,
and I'm going to say this because you're saying hurt is hurt, and I'm talking about family, and I'm talking about sister, cousin.
I was going to break that down, but
okay, go ahead. Because I was going to ask you a question, but go ahead.
I think we can get specific to a question.
So, for instance, in the event that your sister sleeps with your husband versus like a friend, like, you know, somebody I'm gonna say I can say me.
Because it would need to be it would need to be someone that I consider.
But you consider me a sister too.
That's
so I don't want to say me because we're both regardless of blood or not, we both are considered to be your sisters. Let's say somebody else, less, you know, than me. Like, for instance, another one of your little friends that you call your little friends. You know, I
know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. So
extra, would it be the same?
Would it be the same?
It's hurt is hurt. Because at the end of the day, you done mess with my husband. That's a whole pain in itself. Now, as far as to the person who did it, it'll probably it's gonna sting a little different if it was my sister or if it came from something, because at some point you expect, like, it's that loyalty thing. It's like that line in the sand with that friend who is not so much you know, like associate somebody who because your mate could cheat with anybody, not necessarily a family member. So that's why I said that hurt is hurt. But at the end of the day, if that hurt came from a family member, then it's more of a betrayal type thing. Like,
I think
it's certain lines that you don't. That's what I said.
I think it's both.
The cheating itself is a whole nother issue, is what I'm saying. But when you want to put a family member into it, I think it's more of a betrayal type of hurt versus, because the other person don't owe me nothing.
Yeah, they got a code too that they should be abiding by. They
should be messing with married men, but no, I said not friend, just anybody. Because your mate, I said if your mate is messing with anybody, that's just a hurt. Just your mate cheating, regardless. That's a whole different issue that you're going to deal with. Now, if my mate cheated with my goddamn sister, that's a whole nother issue, because now I have to deal with my sister. I got to resolve that. I mean, because I don't even want to withdraw myself from my sister, even if that did happen. So, yeah, I think it's more or less a betrayal because of the line in the sand. Like you say, like, if it's not your friend, you don't owe me nothing. We say that all the time about people who are not close to you.
Well, I think the hurt hit different because it's family. You know, I feel like family, you have an expectation set apart differently for family versus, you know, a friend. I don't know. I just feel like when you in that same bloodline, you know, you should already know that certain things are off limits. You know,
it's line in the sand.
Right.
You
got your finger up, Josh.
Church finger back.
Hey, Monique is coming with these comments.
Hey, come on, Monique. Get in on this.
If I have love for you, then it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Don't matter who it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt is hurt.
Yeah.
That's Monique's comment.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
You did say hurt is hurt. Well, I just feel like it hit a little different. I don't know. That's me personally. You know, I just feel like, you know, if you, my sister versus somebody else, like a friend, like, you know, I associate with, and it's just different. It's a different, because my expectations, my expectations of my sister or, you know, a cousin or something is completely different. You already know You already know. You know, certain things you ain't supposed to do as family.
It goes back to what I just said. That other person, you don't feel like they owe you anything. Like, I don't know you, you didn't know me. Maybe you didn't. Maybe my mate lied to you and told the dad he wasn't married. I don't know what the heck caused y'all to join the forces. I appreciate forces joining together, but it's different when you know, Heifer, you know I'm married. Nigga, you be with us every day. You all, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a betrayal to me. The hurt is definitely hurt. But it's more, it lies on the betrayal to me, because you know, God doggone well, you know better. It's a line in the sand that you just don't cross.
Absolutely.
So I totally agree.
Has there been anybody that done you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Brought you to that extent to where, like, they hurt you, like, as far as family?
Hurt me?
Yeah, like,
I don't know whether I was hurt. I don't know whether I was it's a little sticky. I guess we honest on the show. I guess once you know a person conducts themselves a certain type of way, even though you know that line is in the sand, you ain't so surprised that it happened, because you know what type of person that person is. Maybe that may have prevented me from being hurt like it probably would have been from someone who I kind of expected to keep that line in the sand. So yeah, I've been tried like that, but I don't think it hurted me, because I mean, to be honest, I don't know. Like, I didn't expect no less. I'm not surprised,
right,
because you carry yourself a certain type of way. Now it still bothers him. Like, well, god dang, like, you know, because I still got a loyalty to them. You know, because that's just me. I still won't cross those lines, but at the end of the day,
your expectation was still, don't violate, don't, cross that line in the sand, and it still happened. It wasn't like you were so surprised about the situation.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I didn't think that they would do it to me, even though I know that may be how they conduct themselves. I still didn't think that they would do it to me. But it still didn't hurt.
Have I been hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, hey, because, people got secrets and stuff, but not that I know about,
Have you ever hurt somebody like that?
Especially by a family member. No, not that I know of either. I don't think so. Me personally, I'm very loyal. I'm a very loyal person. When it comes to friendship and, family, and I'm quick to tell, look, hey, get out my face. I know you talk to this person, or I know you don't talk to that person. I'm definitely loyal when it comes to that, because like Tanya said earlier, I want to treat people the way I want to be treated. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna treat you how I want to be treated, and then the same in return. And I'm that type of person that if I find out that you have done me a certain kind of way, or at least I was at one point, I would just completely cut you off. That's how I dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? I would completely cut you off. But not so much now, because I realize that everybody has their faults. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their faults. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to still deal with an individual, but be able to deal with them from a distance, from afar, and not just completely cut them off just because they have their issues or their faults or their flaws.
How you gotta deal with them from a distance?
Huh?
Or from afar? Why?
Because I don't want them in my personal space no more.
Say why?
Because they hurt me, and I don't want to be hurt no more. Like, if I keep you close knit to me, then I feel like you are, you know what I'm saying? There's a possibility that you might just try me again, and then that might be an issue this time. You know what I'm saying? So I just deal with you. I still deal with you, like, but it won't be as how it once was. I don't know. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
And it could go a whole nother way, depending on how the Lord want to address it. You know what I'm saying? It could definitely go a whole nother way. He might have me still sit with Judas, at the table. So, I mean, it really depends.
Yeah, because that's how I look at it, too. It really doesn't matter what you've done to me. We all got faults.
We do.
Who am I to tell you which one is worse than another? So I'm gonna still deal with you. God, he building character at the end of the day. I done seen God work. I done seen the character of God in those type of situations. that allow me to
I
keep
love when you
interacting.
say that character building thing. I never even paid attention to that, and you use that so frequently to I really pay attention to it now. You know what I'm saying, with the situations and the life lessons that come to us. You know what I'm saying? It definitely builds character in an individual. It shows you how and what you can deal with, and you be like, I can't take this. Oh yeah, you can take it. You know what I'm saying? Because you done took it.
Yeah.
So
and it's not even so much of us, you know, because I don't want to get so you know, into the you know, I don't even want to call it religious, into that holy thing. But at the end of the day, it's the God in me, because ain't no temperance without him. I'd be busting some heads right here, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, when you put your trust in him, when you're in an unfamiliar territory, you're in a place where you don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I look to the Lord for everything. So even in the betrayal or hurtful situation, I still be like, dang man, what kind of individual? Got to be something going on in the inside of this person that would allow them to do that and be all right with it, when you know how, if it was done to you, how it would make you feel. So I more or less take their side from a sympathetic position to be able to deal with them and their flaws. So that's how I'm able to see the Lord's character. It don't be that I don't have an issue with it. I just take those issues that I have with that issue to the Lord, and they don't last long, because he begins to show me he still loves that person. He shows me my faults at the same time. Like, God darn it, hell, for you ain't fault free, and I still love you. And what do you think love is? Love is unconditional. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not boastful. It don't love when it wants to love. It loves all the time. Love reaches for you. So that's me. I just don't think pulling away is going to resolve anything at the end of the day. People who do certain things that hurt other people, sometimes I don't think they're intentional. Sometimes they just do them, and then sometimes they are intentional. I mean, but even if they are, at the end of the day, it's still something going on in the inside.
That's intentionally doing stuff just to be doing it, you know.
I agree. So would it be something like, because I done seen some issues where people are dealing with their children. You know what I'm saying? Where you're no longer are dealing with your kids. Like, how do you feel like that? Would you be able to
cut your kid off? Cut your child off? Is there anything? I don't think there's nothing that will cause me to cut my child off. Like, not to deal with my child anymore. Nothing. I don't think so. I really don't. I'll be there through hell or high water. I'm there.
So your kid's flaws is different from another person. Let's say it's something that you might not like, and another person that you decided to cut off, but they still, that same character show up in your kid.
Yeah, they different, because I didn't have them. They ain't mature.
Why is they different than the Lord's kid?
I don't know that. For one, if they
well,
are
you the Lord's kid.
I'm the Lord's kid, but I don't know what they are.
You the Lord's
have
kid.
To deal with them because we are not, connected in any kind of way. I mean, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming from a carnal point, so yeah, I'm coming from the natural standpoint of things. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It just depends on where I'm at and what I'm being led to do at that very moment. But definitely, I know with my kids. Hell or high water. I know that, unless, again, something take place where I'm not able to do it. But, them, yeah. I don't think it's nothing that I would be faced with that I would, shun them off. Yeah, like, I don't think. Is there anything for you? Like,
for my kids?
Yeah.
No. It ain't really nothing that anybody can do to me where I'm going to cut you off. Not even just talking about my kids. Because, once again, it goes back to who I belong to. As far as to how I deal with other people. They got to stand before the Lord for their actions. I don't. You know what I'm saying? And I got to stand before the Lord. Exactly. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna let the Lord love you through me, because I got to answer one day too. So I'm cool. I'm cool on that.
Okay.
Tosh, you will cut your children off?
No.
But you'll cut somebody else off,
with the quickness.
Cut.
To the left, to the left.
Yay.
Look, we got Roach in the audience. Roach, you'll cut them kids off? You think it's nothing them kids can do? If your baby girl slept with your husband? Her dad.
Her dad?
Right.
It has.
It's kind of messed up, but
It is.
But I done heard it.
Yeah, it happens.
It has happened.
Yeah, it does happen.
It does happen.
yeah.
That's nasty, but it happens.
I don't know. So, what do you think? As Monique said, like, what do you do to try to establish a relationship with the family? At least if you have a desire there, but maybe you don't know how to go about it. What would you do?
To establish a relationship with the family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really don't know. I guess communicate with them. You know, try to bring them together with certain events and certain things.
People do that.
Huh?
People do that all the time.
They do that, but it don't work
It don't.
because everybody.
There's no point.
Yeah,
Just let them be them and you
let them live their life,
be.
live their best life without
If they
trying.
try, if they don't, so be it.
I mean, well, at least you've
That's how I look
attempted.
at it. Right.
Yeah, at that point, you've attempted.
How many attempts do you make? Do you continue to attempt
Oh,
and
I
continue to
stopped.
attempt?
Just cut them off.
I don't know if I'll continue to attempt.
Yeah. I ain't gonna keep on reaching out.
Yeah, I am one. If you don't want to talk, I might not be the person to stop talking to you.
What?
But if you don't want to talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna chuck up the deuces to you. Now, also you could have been that person that may not want to talk to me, and then maybe you done change your mind later on down the line, or somehow we end up in each other's company. The issue was never with me. I'm gonna chat as though I would have chat with you before you stop chatting with me. But at the end of the day, I ain't gonna keep chatting. Why? Because at some point you might snap. Don't be talking to me. Now that's a whole nother issue.
And you asked me earlier, what would I do? Well, because currently, our family isn't close knit like they once were. They, our foundation, which is my great grandmother, she passed away, and it seemed like once she passed away, like everybody, went about their own separate ways and separate lives, and like even for Thanksgiving and stuff, everybody like cook in their own houses, and whoever stay there eat there, and whoever. And I mean, you may go and visit, but it's not like how it once was when my great grandmother was alive. We all kind of came to her house. Everybody, it was every event. Everybody came to her house, so we kind of lost, contact with.
Why do you think that stopped?
Because I believe, like I said, she was like the person who drew like everybody in.
I mean, because we don't have family members that. I'm asking you that because it brought us closer together. Everybody had already had their individual lives. Because like I said, we all started off very close. And of course, once everybody, you got married, so certain people got married, and of course you may have seen them less because of course now they have started a whole nother life amongst themselves. So it was kind of a little bit, we weren't totally not communicating, but we weren't coming together as much as maybe everybody want to come together. So when certain people died in the family, we were just like, dang man, you could actually be gone tomorrow. So that made us want to get together. And I remember Raymond in particular, because he lost a lot of years doing time or whatever, and he missed a lot of family functions, but he still yet loved the family. And those deaths in that time that I think he missed, he just sparked a fire in everybody and was like, man, we got to get together more often. And then when we get together, we just enjoy each other so much. You just like, God dang, nigga, we got to do this again. So we made a pact to we started on Fridays. We used to be every Friday that we go to my mom's house. And I know people may wonder why we go to the lake, but ultimately it started because of Raymond. He wanted to bring the family back together, and it had nothing to do with just my grandmother's kids. Because in the beginning, everybody came,
right?
And now it just kind of seems like my grandmother kids and her daughter kids kind of come over there to the house, and every now and again somebody might trickle in. But ultimately, it was set for that purpose, is to kind of bring everybody back and try to communicate, make sure that the kids know each other, and just to love on each other. Right. Is why we did it.
We have a comment from Keisha. I was wondering where you was, Keisha.
Hey, sis.
So I guess Keisha was responding to your comment earlier when she said, stop lying, Tanya. You will still be trying to talk to their ass.
Pretty much.
No,
that's not. Wait, talk to who?
She said, like, if somebody there, I said, well, don't nobody want to talk to me.
Right.
I ain't finna keep trying to talk to you.
Oh.
That
She
is
will.
not the truth, LaKeisha. Don't be rolling your eyes back there looking like you agree with Keisha. Y'all haven't don't know me like y'all think y'all know me. No, I'm not. Because at some point, because I am flesh too. You know, especially when I feel like I haven't done a person wrong, or maybe I have done you wrong. I don't know, but if you haven't expressed it to me, then at some point I just think you over there tripping. Now, if you told me that I've done something, then I think at some point, then it's me. Then I'm going to try to right that wrong. But if you ain't told me that I did nothing wrong,
Right.
and you just around here just tripping, and you got an attitude every time somebody try to reach out to you and talk, no, I'm not gonna do that, because at some point I'm frustrated. I'm like, God damn, what's wrong with you? Like, chill out. Like, at some point I think we're gonna bump heads. So no, I'm not gonna do that. You want to? I respect your place. I respect your place. If that's what you want, you got it.
And that's what you have to do. At the end of the day, if somebody don't want to be, don't want to talk to you, then what you gonna do? Force them? You can't force nobody to talk to you. So
Why would you want to force somebody to talk?
You gotta back up. That's family, friends, anybody.
Yeah, I just think you gotta allow God to be God in that instance. At least that's what I noticed. When people don't want to talk to me, and I wasn't the person who stopped talking, then I realized that maybe the Lord is working with them concerning something. Because I feel like God is always working, and at the same time, He's working on me.
Absolutely.
So when you have a relationship with somebody and you're trying to reach out to them, and they seem like they want to reach to you, but something keeps happening, but you still keep reaching out to them, does that make you annoying?
What you mean something happened? Like maybe they just are not in a position to talk, but they want to talk?
Maybe they want to talk.
I mean, if they want to talk, then I do think that you should continue to try to reach out. You know, maybe time is not permitting it, or whatever. Life just may not be permitting it. But if there's a desire there to want to talk, then I do think that there should be keep trying.
An attempt, yeah.
An attempt to keep trying.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree too.
Yep.
Am I
Was
going?
that it? Nope.
Look at her. Is that it? Hell no, it ain't it. Hell no, it ain't it. Ty says. I know y'all know what movie that come from, because y'all know we good at quoting some goddamn movies. But yeah, I think that was pretty much what I wanted to get out, is to at least attempt to know people. And the term, you know, blood is thicker than water, obviously that's the topic, but we got in depth as far as to what that could be. So if you do have a person that you're close to who may not be in the bloodline, it's okay. It's cool. And stay in your own lane. If you got some other family business going on, oh, well, wait a minute. Because what if you have a friend, like say for instance, let me get like you, being that you're not blood, but you're close to me, you know, and I may have had an issue with Tosh. You know, you think you should be, you think you should be getting involved in the mess?
No.
You don't think you should get involved either?
Mm-hmm.
So what if Tosh did me real dirty? You ain't gonna get involved. You ain't gonna have nothing to say.
That's between y'all. That's fair.
Yeah.
Like,
I think family,
I still would stay
I'm-
cordial.
but that's even with like friends. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'll be cordial as well, Roach. I'll be cordial. I wouldn't try to be invasive and try to get in between and be on Tanya's side because I'm close with Tanya. That's my best friend. I'm not gonna persuade her to, you know, do this or say this. I'm not, you know, no. I'm just not gonna get involved. I'm not gonna get involved. I'm allow, you know, the Lord to do what He gonna do in that situation. I ain't gonna say nothing, Jack, nothing. I'ma listen. I will listen to you, and I'll be like, because you call me a person bent, but and I listen. I'm like, well then try to work it out. You know what I'm saying? Like with Tosh, yeah.
I gave Tosh as an example.
Yeah.
You're with Tosh.
What you talking about? Anybody? Any one of your family members? I don't know. It just really depends on the situation, the circumstance. I really don't know. I can't say for sure, but in most cases, I would like to think that I would not, you know, get involved. Like I would try to keep myself out of that arena because y'all family. You know what I'm saying? I would think that I would, still be cordial with the individual who you're, going through it with. Yeah. I would like to think that I would still be okay with them and still, be okay with you and not have anything to do with that.
Yeah, I don't think that you would pick sides. I don't think that that's your character at all. But I do think as far as to me and your friendship, she's going to bring some correction to me. I don't know whether people think that is mingling, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't consider it mingling because you know what I'm saying, this is our friendship, and at some point you would have to correct somebody if you feel like no, Tanya, I think you're wrong. X, Y, Z might give some advice as far as to what you want to do, or I may not tell you what I want.
Falling out with the other person, or like getting involved to that extent to where like I would fall out. Yeah, definitely, we'll have a conversation about it. We conversate about everything. So I'm gonna definitely, tell you what my opinion of the situation is, or what I feel you wrong at or right at or shouldn't do. Or, that's how we converse.
Yeah,
so,
but I was saying mingle. I said that's what I think that you would do as a friend. But what I was saying was, like, would you be that messy family member? I know you wouldn't be that family member, but I'm pretty sure that people have some friends or someone else that they're very close to, could be a sister or whomever it is, that can be a little messy. Right. You know what I'm saying? It could be a picking of a side, or you could be toying with both sides, or you know what I'm saying? But you definitely ain't minding your business because the issue ain't got nothing to do with you. But you got your head and everything.
Yeah, I got 10% yeah, that's all. Girl.
I know y'all heard her too, because she thinks she be back there whispering. She thinks she be back there whispering, and don't be whispering. Everybody hear everything you gonna say. Yeah, so y'all already know we're going live from Kiana's phone. We're gonna never keep our battery charged.
Hey, what can I say? Hey, y'all.
Yeah, but we about to close it out anyway. Man, if you got a family member and you have a desire, reach out to them. If you have some people that you don't know but you're interested and want to know, you know what I'm saying, that you recently found out that was your family, look, chop it up. Even if you have some odds with a family member, is it a way that you can actually mend those fences? Mm-hmm. If it really is a way that you guys can mend those fences, then I would say do it. Life is too short, man.
Definitely. I agree. And that statement, blood is thicker than water, doesn't necessarily always mean that bloodline. Mm-hmm. Blood can be your friend, somebody you associate with. Typically it could be anybody outside of family that you feel close to, like that loyalty. You have that loyalty with. So keep in mind that it doesn't necessarily have to be blood thicker than water.
Absolutely. Just in case at some point we have, because we talk about our friendship like, is it like me, you, and J? We say that it was predestined. Mm-hmm. So we feel like the Lord connected us. It was a spiritual connection. It was a purposeful, like it was on purpose connection that He made between us, and that blood, which would be Christ, I'm just saying, and that's way thicker than this goddamn generational blood at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So yeah, but at the end of the day, get your behind up and reach out to people. People, don't be the one to stop talking. How about that? Let them stop talking to you. That means the Lord quiet them. Who knows? He told them to shut up, and maybe He dealing with them. But at the end of the day, don't let your mouth be the one that's hushed. But until next time, we about to play y'all this music because we about to get out of here. Because other than that phone gonna cut off on us, and we ain't going out like that.
And remember to go ahead and subscribe to all of our stuff, all of that stuff out there on YouTube. We got the YouTube channel Spoken with Purpose. We have Facebook Spoken with Purpose, Spoken with Together Purpose. Mm-hmm. Then we also have the Spoken with
W. It's been changed. They made us change it. So now it's Spoken W.
I know. Girl,
Spoken W Purpose. So it's like W is the middle initial.
And then Spoken with Purpose.
That's the business page. We definitely need you guys to follow the business page on Facebook, because that is where our stats kind of we get our business stats there from. So we definitely want you guys to follow that page. And you gave me Instagram.
And the Instagram Spoken with Purpose 3. Then we also have Spoken with Purpose. It's a podcast on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And Spoken with Purpose on all of the podcast streaming services: Anchor, SoundCloud, iTunes, all of them. Go and check us out, y'all. Check us out.
Every platform, because y'all already know we want to be in everybody's face. But again, make sure that y'all share the videos, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we out of here until next time. Hang on.
I chose my words and always spoke with purpose. I'ma speak my mind until they close the curtains. Look deep inside before you judge the surface. Look in my eyes and read between the lines. My soul is searching. Chosen, gotta focus. They know this time. You Kiana and Modi. Action, no bragging, no boasting. Facts with no capping. They hold it down. Envision these words and use them as power. The enemy lurking. I'm calling my spirit, and if it can hear me, it's spoken with purpose.
We don't know what happened.